Hey guys, I'm just sitting outside and I had some sort of time to sit and muse over uh, the past and just past dynamics that I've experienced or others have experienced through me. Um, and I kind of just realized that it led me to realize that though expressing yourself is supposed to be like a natural um right, I guess, it can it cannot like it can still sometimes feel like a privilege that others have and you feel like you don't. uh and I think it was like plenty evident through one of like my most prominent dynamics when I was in high school, or yeah, like during school. And it goes like this basically. So I had a friend, very like so I want to say supposedly, but I guess like we were close friends and we're still in touch and everything. But um, so this person and me, like we used to get along really really well, and apart and aside, like putting aside the whole yeah, like the body dysmorphia or whatever, and like those kind of comparisons and the envy that stems from that. um I think like I realized just sitting outside that though that part did make up a significant portion of the dynamic. Like I used to be a bit more puffier versus her who was really skinny. um Another huge part of that, the envy that I would have to admit I felt towards this individual, was probably the part where I felt like they had no issues completely expressing themselves, whether it be through their words, through their actions, admitting their emotions, or having very emotional reactions to situations or things, um in front of people, like in front of people. I didn't really realize that that could be something that would bug me for very long, because though I've been able to tell this person that I did feel envy towards them, and I've tried my best, like I kept like attributing it to the fact that I was not satisfied with the way that I looked. But right now, I kind of realize that this too, like being able to express oneself, was probably playing a major role in that too. So, um, sorry, I just had to sip my tea. What to kind of explain this dynamic, what happens is that we're really good friends, and this person is great at writing, um, has like is really easily able to speak, not only on stage but with other people. And it's not that they didn't have like their issues or whatever, but even despite those issues, even in like interacting with other people, it was really 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 easy for them to just say what was on their mind, or to say what they wanted to, and to display their emotions towards whatever it was that they were feeling when they were in a particular interaction, which I think made it easy for them to interact with people. Like I think it's the key to like extroversion, when you don't feel like you have to kind of mute, or like you don't have to show a different face, or you have to like suppress what you're actually feeling. That might just like that's I don't know, that's probably the key to like true extroversion. not the kind of people who are like, oh yeah, they look like they're really good at, like being around other people or talking to other people, but you can, like, I don't know if everyone feels this way, but you can usually tell when someone is not truly there, like, to interact. Like, I think there's a difference. But this person wasn't that. This person genuinely liked talking to people, and they were good at it. And like, mirrored that, not mirror, but like in contrast to that was me, where though I was like, yeah, I had the expressive, like, artistic, like, skills, like writing or speaking up on stage and stuff. Like, I was able to do all of that. And I'm like, I was pretty good at that. I didn't have stage fear. I didn't, like, it's not like I had artistic blocks or anything. But when it came to interacting with people, good Lord, was I struggling. And it's still something I think I'm still struggling with it, because when I have to be put into situations where I need to be talking to people and, social situations, like, I find myself having to muster up a lot of my energy so that I can put up a particular front, because I can't express all my emotions, essentially. And so this person was significant, like, popular enough, basically, and I completely owe it to the fact that they were good at showing their emotions. And when you're good at showing your emotions, without the fear of, necessarily being, like, without thinking about being judged, you can do the same for others too. You can let them express themselves. And for me, that was almost about always impossible. And, like, this comes, I know a lot of people, I know for a fact that a lot of people feel like this, or could be going through this, because, when you're growing up and you, like, through certain situations, you end up learning that you have to mute out your emotional expression, or expressing what you think or what you feel, even though it should all, you shouldn't have to mute it out. It's not something that's a privilege. It's natural. It should happen, and that's the only way you can actually be a good communicator. But for me, that was really, like, it was hard. I always felt like I had to, if I felt sad, I couldn't really tell anyone. Like, I didn't think it was right to. I didn't think I was allowed to. And over time, I just started thinking that it was almost, like, cowardly to. And the same thing goes with not just, like, being sad or, like, the negative spectrum of emotions, but even positive emotions. Like, I felt like I can't tell someone that I'm extremely happy. Showing it on my face, it was probably also, like, like, I ended up becoming, like, from grade 7 all the way to grade 11, I progressively ended up becoming more and more, like stern face. Like, I feel like when someone saw me, they just, and I've heard people tell me this, when someone saw me, they just thought I either had no emotions going on inside, or I just looked like I was just severely, either I was really angry, or I was just, like, upset. Like, that's what I looked like to people on the outside. And that probably some part of that was true, because when you can't really say how you're feeling, that's how it feels. You feel suppressed, you feel upset, because you're emotionally constipated, essentially. And so this person, like, I vividly remember this particular memory. It's like we were just, like, as I said, we were friends. So, we were standing in, like, our little group. It was, like, lunchtime or whatever. And we were having, like, a debate over, I don't even remember what topic this was. But that debate was going on, and this person, this individual who I'm talking about, was talking to someone else or debating with someone else over whatever particular topic was going on. I don't remember what it was, honestly. And like I vividly remember seeing this, and I had a visceral reaction to her reaction or response to whatever was going on. At some point, she got so like passionate, or like into the like as I said, like this person did not have any problems expressing themselves. So like this person was so into the whole thing, into the whole conversation, that I think they started like crying in the middle of the conversation, because that's how strongly they felt about this particular topic. Now, I'm not saying that this is like that's a great thing. Like, of course, this person was still really young too. We were still teenagers, and I'm not saying that like having such a huge emotional reaction is a good thing. But what I felt when I saw that was like, it wasn't like awe, or like I don't know how to say it, but I just felt like, oh my god, like look at her. How could she so effortlessly express exactly what she's feeling? Like, how the hell can someone do that? Like, oh my god, like, it was kind of like disdain. I don't know if that's the right word, but that's kind of how I felt. I'm like, how could you just up and be like, oh yeah, like I feel this way, so, and like the waterworks just starts. It was so amazing to me, and back then it was not in a positive way. I was judging this person 110%. I was like, this person is crazy. Like, imagine having this honest, I guess, of a reaction to something that doesn't even matter. Like, this is a stupid conversation between two high schoolers. Like, how serious could it be? But in hindsight, I've felt this way with this person all throughout our interactions in high school. So all throughout when we were friends and in each other's immediate environment, right? Like, I'm still friends with this person, but we're not in our immediate environment anymore. And it was such a weird thing, because every time this person would be interacting with people, sometimes even with me, I just feel like this person was the exact reflection of everything I could not be as someone who is interacting with people, as someone who had to socialize with people, essentially. And it's been years since that, but like I'm just realizing it now. Like, that was one of the biggest issues. Like, yes, body image issues and that sort of envy, but really I was always so pressed about the fact that I was never able to actually express all my full emotional range. Like, you wouldn't know if I were happy or if I were sad. Like, I would just look like, maybe numb. I don't know, because probably that's how I actually felt. But this person had a full range of emotions to express, and because of that, and they were able to express it, and because of that, I really do think that they were really good with interacting with people, and forming good connections with people. I don't know if all these connections were worthwhile, or actually provided any value, because it's not always just like one way, I guess, but it always felt like they connected really well to whoever they were talking to, and that was something that I really couldn't imagine back then, and I still have trouble imagining right now, because I have friends and I have people around me, but I still struggle to actually connect to these people, and like, like a lot of times I have to force myself to actually go out and do things with people, because I just feel like there's no real connection involved in like I'm talking. Like I think if someone saw me, they think I'm a good, I can do good small talk, or I might come off as someone who's good at interacting. But actually I just feel so hollow and empty when I talk to people a lot of the times. And I just realized that this is the problem. Like I can't express my full range of emotions. And because of that, the thing is that people like jump off of each other's energies. So if I seem like I'm holding back, which I'm sure I must be, because you can only suppress it for so long and seem like it's nothing, right? Like at some point it's gonna come out. Like this is not like it's like when people throw up. Like I'm sorry, it's a gross example, but it's like you keep stuffing food down your GI tract basically, and you can't digest it anymore because most of us don't have the toolkit to do that. And then at some point you've suppressed it so much that it's coming out in the wrong way, right? Like when you eat food, it's supposed to be digested and come out through one end, but when you can't digest it and when there's too much, it comes out through the wrong way. And that's what I think, that's what's happening. That's what happens when I interact with people a lot of the times. And because of that, I don't think the person in front of me can connect to me, and I don't think I can connect to them. So it just ends up feeling like an empty kind of pool. Like, you're just kind of sitting there and you're like, yeah, we're both acting like or at least I feel like I'm acting like I'm connecting to this person, but it's just really hard to actually do it. And yeah, so I think that's like, right now I kind of figured out why that I felt that way, whether it was the envy I felt towards that person, or a majority of the envy I felt towards that person. And also why, like, even though I want to be an extrovert, and even when I actually go out to people and talk to them, I can't do it. I think that's what it is.